Now, before the scales were invented, people used to use the width of their hand or length of their arms to measure the length of something. So for example, the length of this table can be said to be 5 hands. Essentially what we are doing is comparing two lengths. We are saying how many times is one length in terms of another. So a measurement of any kind is basically a comparison with a known standard, and here we are using the length of the hand as the standard. The problem is that everyone's hand has a different width. So as long as we need a crude estimate of length, it was okay. But when more accurate measurements were required, for example in construction of buildings, that kind of crudeness could not be acceptable. So what do you think they did to get a standard measurement? Usually, it would be the king's hand that would be used as a standard. Somewhere between the 12th and 13th century, King Henry of England decided that in his kingdom, the unit of measure of length will be called a yard and will be the distance from the tip of his nose to the end of his outstretched arm. And of course, a primary scale was made from this measurement. And from this primary scale, secondary scales were manufactured and distributed to everyone. So let's begin by defining what a measurement is and what it actually means to measure something. In science, a measurement is considered the assignment of a numerical value to an object's physical property. Measuring physical properties is very common. For example, you might want to know the length of a line, the volume of a sphere, or the density of a liquid. Whenever we take measurements, we also have to assign units to the numerical quantity in order to convey the relative size or magnitude of the property in question. For example, if I said the length of my shoe was 10, you wouldn't actually know how long the shoe was because there will be no context for what the 10 represent. In fact, this will only make sense if the number 10 had a unit of measure to go along with it. Any physical quantity such as length, mass or time is measured and denoted in terms of basic standards called a unit of measurement. A unit is an internationally accepted basic reference standard against which the measurements of various physical quantities are compared.